Hi everyone, let's paint lemons together. I'm starting with just showing pretty roughly um, the lighted and shadow parts of two lemons that are closest to the viewer. I'm mixing cadmium yellow light and raw umber to create the shadows. Um, and for my lighted side, I use just open color, just open yellow cadmium. But it looks a little bit darker on the picture because it just got mixed with the pencil a little bit, but it's not a problem. We will cover it later with our later layers. Now I decided to switch to the background just to see how they live around other color and just to check uh, my my lemons are not too dark or not too light. It's also much easier to see the general atmosphere of the picture when you have at least something on it. I mean, like some kind of a background, not just white canvas. And I'm choosing the contrast color to the lemons. It's purple. I mixed alizarin crimson and ultramarine blue to create such color, and also added a little bit raw umber to make my purple a little bit low in chroma. Because it's a background, I didn't want it to pop up too much. And of course I added a pretty good chunk of cadmium white to lighten it. Now I'm switching to the lip. I started with a very dark color that I created by mixing sap green and black, I think. And now I'm trying to light the lighted parts, adding cadmium yellow. I'm not mixing it on my palette. I'm just applying it straight to the color that I already have on my paper or on my canvas. This is canvas paper. I just decided to save some space in my house and paint on canvas paper. But I prefer canvas, honestly. It feels so much more pleasant to paint on canvas. I'm trying to vary the color of my background from purple to blue, so it's not like a fence just in one color. It has some kind of a game and flickering. It was pretty smooth until this time, um, because this sort of a attachment between these two fruits made me search for a drawing or for that place a little bit more. I didn't like how they look like, and I spent um, some time trying to find how to define the relationships between two lemons. I mean, by relationships, by how they are touching each other. Now I'm painting them as though we can see that space between them, but I'm not satisfied with it, and yeah, I'm wiping it off, editing something. Well, it's a very good tip if there's something is not turning, um, is something is not working as you would like, and you can't really find the answer for this place. It's good to switch to a different part of the canvas and just start to work on a different problem. And then later, when you come back to that problem that you decided just to step away, it will resolve itself. You will find the way. And also the paint will, just set a little bit, and it would be easy to apply new layers to it. I'm trying to find the color for these green lemons here. I want them to be cooler than the green leaves, which means I am not using sap green, but I'm mixing together phthalo blue and cadmium yellow, and just a tiny bit of umber, just to calm this down, because if you mix together phthalo blue and cadmium yellow, it will be pretty bright green, which I don't want at this stage of my painting. And don't forget about the reflected light. It should be darker than the lighted side of the lemon, but it should be lighter than, of course, the core shadow and just in general, the shadow part of the lemon. It's still the light, but it's just not from the direct source. It's bumped from the other objects. Just make it very subtle. And the tip how to paint this little drop at the bottom of the lemon is to just think of it as a separate sphere. It has its own core shadow and its own shadow, reflected light as well. And it also will help to make the bottom of the lemon itself above the drop on the lighter side of the drop darker, but on the shadow part of the drop lighter. I don't know if it makes sense. So it's sort of a reverse here, but the changes should be very subtle, but still visible. I took a little break and came back to my painting after the break and decided that my background was too dark and I wanted to have it a little bit brighter, so I'm adding more titanium white to my purple mixture and continue searching for the right color for that green lemon, because the one that I had was pretty dull and I didn't like it. Here I think as I'm searching for the right color for this green lemon, I'm mixing together phthalo blue, cadmium yellow, and I also decided to try to add a little bit of sap green to it to have the color a little bit closer to the reality. Also, I think I should mention that to paint the lighter sides of whether it's a lemon, green lemon, or foliage, I don't add white. I'm lighting it with cadmium yellow. If you add white to your green mixture or to sap green, then the color will look rather plastic than live. Well, although sometimes I add a little bit of white, but the main ingredient for lighting this green color is to add lemon, not lemon, cadmium light. Also, I'm not using lemon yellow here because it's very easy to mix lemon yellow color if you just add a tiny drop of phthalo blue to cadmium yellow light. Um, Cadmium yellow light will turn into lemon yellow color, so no need to spend money for extra tubes of paint. However, it's important to have cadmium yellow light rather than deep or medium, because you can make it deep or medium by mixing it with some other colors, for example with cadmium red, but it's pretty hard to achieve that bright light color, so it's better to buy a tube of cadmium light, yellow light. I see in my photo that there is a huge leaf just sticking out, so I'm trying to paint it, but it looks like I'm not satisfied with this result and searching for what would fit better there. And again, like if something is not working, if I get stuck at a point, I'm just switching to a different place in canvas and let my eyes rest